Thank you very much. More than 1 year after a scandal at the Veterans Affairs Agency revealed cooked books, an overwhelming backlog, and deadly wait times, President Obama insists progress, real progress, being made.
The VA is handling millions more appointments inside and outside the VA and delivering more care. On average, veterans are waiting just a few days for an appointment. And that's all good news.
That is good news, but our next guest says that is not true. Joining us right now, we've got the Legislative Director of Concerned Veterans for America and a U.S. Marine Corps vet, Mr. Dan Caldwell, joining us from our nation's capital. Good morning to you, Dan.
Hey, Steve, thank you for having me on.
So the president said things are all better. That true?
No, unfortunately, they're not. And what the president is doing is very disingenuous. He's only focusing on one wait time metric. Overall, wait times in general across the VA, depending on the region, are up between 20% and 50%. And that's not CVA's data. That's the VA's own data. What the president is doing here is the equivalent of a mayor of a city with a rising crime rate saying that crime is going down because they're writing fewer jaywalking tickets. It's just not true, and unfortunately, it's very misleading. But it's what we've come to expect from this Department of Veterans Affairs and this administration, unfortunately.
Look, since the scandal broke where so many people died waiting for care, there have been a lot of stories, a lot of statistics gathered. The president does choose to quote the one that makes him look the best. But in June, the Washington Post found the number of vets on wait lists has risen 50% in the last year. And according to leaked internal documents from the VA, 1/3 of vets awaiting care at the VA have already died. So if they have already passed on, the president doesn't have to worry about those with his statistics.
That's absolutely correct, and that last number you threw out is very alarming. Now, we don't know exactly how many of those people actually completed their applications to get in the VA, but at the very least it shows that the VA is not keeping up with the number of people who are applying for health care, and therefore can't properly project how many people are going to need health care from the VA in the future, what makes it harder for us to believe when they come to Congress asking for more money, saying they're going to have more people using health care. It's very disturbing, and it shows the problems that led to the scandal last year have simply not been fixed.
Sure, and Dan, you just talked about, we're talking about wait times not getting better, people still waiting, people probably still dying, and yet the president's ultimate message was the VA needs more money. Listen to this.
We actually now have about 2.7 million more veterans seeking services. And if the amount of resources doesn't change, then they get shortchanged. The very same folks who are going to cut services are the first ones then to say, why is it that folks have waiting time so long?
Okay, so he admits that he needs more money to get the job done, but we're still spending so many hundreds of millions of dollars with a corrupt system. And just out of curiosity, Dan, since the scandal, how many people have actually been fired and held accountable?
Well, according to the House Veterans Affairs Committee, only 2 people have actually been fired for manipulating wait lists. Only 2, but even then, we don't know 100% for sure if they were actually fired for wait lists or something else. For example, the head of the Phoenix VA hospital where the scandal began, the VA claimed for a couple months that she was fired for wait lists, but it actually came out she was fired for taking Beyonce tickets from a lobbyist. So we don't actually know if those 2 people yet have been really fired for wait lists and not something else.
Nailed for Beyonce tickets. Great. Dan Caldwell, Concerned Veterans for America. Sir, thank you very much for keeping the story alive.
Well, thank you for having us on, Steve, and thank you guys for helping keep it alive.
It's an important story for America. That's why we're telling it. Thank you, sir.